America is facing a strange war not on the ground, but in the sky. Millions of black vultures with wingspans of more than 5 feet are turning livestock farms into disasters. They swoop down on livestock, destroy vehicles, and cost ranchers millions of dollars in the blink of an eye. It's a daily reality from Texas to New York. But the craziest part? Laws have been put in place to protect these invasive species, forcing ranchers to find ways to fight back without firing a shot. Find out how they're dealing with this nightmare. If you're in the United States, wake up in the morning and walk out to the barn. Before your eyes is a terrifying sight: a flock of black vultures attacking a herd of cows. One farmer said they lost $2,000 in less than 10 minutes. This is not uncommon. Black vultures target young cattle or cows giving birth. The defenseless prey ranges from the pastures of Kentucky to the farms of Ohio. They hover at 200 feet, patiently waiting for their chance to swoop down like silent predators. The invasive species also destroys car windshield wipers, covers roofs, and turns nearby residential areas into their territory. If you need help from the government regarding this damage, please comment below. But what's special about this is that given the serious damage, why not just shoot them? Black vultures are protected by the Migratory Bird Treaty Act, a federal law that makes hunting illegal without a permit. The invasive species population is exploding, with clutches of 2 eggs, fledglings that leave the nest after 60 to 80 days, and no natural predators. The result? They're getting more numerous and more aggressive. I'd advise you to stay away if you see a vulture, for your safety. Unable to shoot, American ranchers have had to get creative. One popular method is to hang effigy vultures. This is about 60% effective, but not always sustainable. Another method is to use flares, explosions and lights to startle the vultures away. However, they often return within a few days. On larger ranches, electric shock wires are installed on the roofs of barns or houses. When this invasive species lands, a gentle jolt is enough to scare it away without causing harm. However, those who want to hunt it must apply for a special permit, a lengthy process that few have the patience to pursue. Every year they consume hundreds of pounds of carcasses, from livestock to wild animals, preventing the spread of disease and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In Spain, vultures process more than 8,300 pounds of carrion each year, and in the United States they save on the costs of hauling carcasses away for disposal. They even bring in money from tourism, as in Israel, where tourists spend millions of dollars to see vultures. So, are they pests or unsung heroes? I want to hear from you. Despite the benefits, the war between ranchers and vultures is far from over. Their numbers are spreading from the south to the northeast of the United States and even into Canada. What do you think they should do? Comment now, and do you support ranchers or protect vultures? Don't forget to like and share this video so everyone can see how Americans are dealing with this invasive species. Why are wild boars considered pests? They're eating and breeding machines, said Martin Coker, a biologist with the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fish and Parks Pest Program. They don't typically have direct competition, and they don't have many natural predators, so that they can reproduce at an incredible rate. Herds of boar are called hyperbarkers, and these hyperbarkers destroy landscapes. A 2020 federal report said the nation's 5 million wild boars cause an average of $300, 0 cents in damage per boar, bringing the total annual cost to $1,500 million, 0 cents. That includes environmental damage, soil erosion, and agricultural losses. Perhaps as a hunter, you want to do your part, either as a form of recreation or to help a nearby landowner get rid of a small sounder. You may run across some hogs while pursuing other species. In fact, in Mississippi, where Coca resides, and in neighbouring Louisiana, hunters are taking more wild hogs than they are deer in a year. Whatever your reasons for planning a wild hog hunt, here's some of what you can expect.
Up! Good load.
When is the best time to hunt wild hogs? It's a question we hear over and over, and the answer is always the same: at night. As hog hunting has become an increasingly popular method to control the expanding wild hog population, the species has adapted to hunter behaviour by becoming nocturnal. As a result, the best time to hunt wild hogs is when they're awake and feeding at night. Of course, hunting at night comes with its own set of challenges. Limited visibility for shooting, the increasing likelihood of spooking the hogs, and the added challenge of locating them in the dark. Want to guarantee yourself a trophy knockdown in darkness? Follow our 3 tips below for a successful night hunt. You've heard the saying, bait and wait. Setting out feeders is one of the most effective ways to take a wild hog. Hogs have an extremely well-developed, keen sense of smell, which they rely on heavily to seek out food. Because hogs can smell some odours from up to 5 to 7 miles away, loading up feeders with their natural food sources is a great way to lure them out in the open. Bait to use in hog feeders includes acorns, corn, fruit/nuts, and oak mast. Bait automatic feeders can be set to go off after dark, and frequent baiting in an area where there is optimal visibility, like a field, will serve to train the hogs. Once the hogs start associating that feeder with a meal, you'll have them coming to you. American farmers are battling an invasive predator that attacks, and the stakes are high. In Alaska, black bears tear through cornfields, causing up to $20,000 in damage each season. But the real horror comes when these giants come to town, breaking into homes in search of food. Imagine waking up to find a bear rummaging through your kitchen. Happens more often than you think. Red foxes are no less dangerous. They can climb through fences and wipe out entire poultry farms overnight. Worse yet, they're known to carry diseases that threaten both livestock and humans. But their most persistent enemy is the feral hog. In South Carolina alone, this invasive species causes more than $12,600,000 in agricultural damage each year, and they can strike at any time. The danger in Alaska has seen losses of more than $15 million a year, forcing the government to take drastic action. Guns are now the main line of defense, and all hunters must adhere to strict protocols set by the Alaska Department of Wildlife.
Got him.
As winter approaches, black bears become more dangerous. Driven by their instinct to gain weight for hibernation, they roam farther and more frequently in search of food. This makes them easy to spot, but also more unpredictable. Alaska's black bear population is estimated to be between 700,000 and 800,000, and hunting quotas vary from 8 to 12 bears per season, depending on population control needs and environmental conditions.
What do you think?
In the harsh wilderness of Alaska, hunting requires patience and strategy. Hunters must read the wind and use rugged terrain to their advantage. With a black bear population of around 200,000, this invasive species has been better controlled with government oversight. While guns are effective, they are controversial. Some believe that greater use of guns increases safety risks and offer alternatives, such as habitat management and public education. But for those on the front lines, the threat is real and action is needed. As winter approaches and bear activity slows, a new challenge emerges: the red fox. Swift and ruthless, these predators target poultry, forcing farmers to stay vigilant. The hunt continues. Hunters rely on sniper rifles like the Remington 700 for accuracy and power over long distances.
Got him.
The sharp sound of a shot breaks the silence, and tension builds as the fox darts across the open field. Every second counts in this high-risk chase.
Woo!
These hunts demonstrate not only the skill and preparation required, but also the respect a hunter must have for the environment and the humanity of hunting. The lesson? In the wild, patience, precision, and respect are the keys to survival. But in addition to firearms, an essential tool for daytime hunting is the electronic game call.
Got him.
This device simulates the distress sounds of small animals, luring red foxes out of hiding and into the open. Developed through extensive research, these calls increase the hunter's chances of detecting and targeting foxes without having to get too close, ensuring safety and efficiency. Next, with South Carolina's vast forests and vast grasslands, hunting wild hogs is a high-risk challenge. Physical fitness is required to traverse the rugged terrain, and 20/20 vision is required to spot wild hogs from up to 400 feet with accuracy. Wild hog hunting season begins July 1 and runs through February 28, sometimes extending into March and April in designated areas. In the fall and winter, wild hogs become more aggressive in their foraging efforts to build up food for the winter. Their increased mobility makes them easier targets, but also more dangerous due to their territorial nature. South Carolina's unpredictable climate of a hot early season and cold winters test the stamina and focus of every hunter. dehydration, heat stroke, and frostbite are real threats. Team hunting for wild hogs is a priority for hunters at this point. What is the biggest lesson you've learned by the end of this video? Preparation and trust in your team can make the difference between a successful hunt and a dangerous encounter. Hunting invasive species in America's harsh wilderness is a true test of courage. With harsh weather and ferocious prey, every move requires focus and preparation. Would you face a charging 300-pound feral hog? Share your story below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting hunts.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.